Hello? CR, where the bloody hell are you? You were supposed to be here 15 minutes ago.
I know.
I've got big booty girls in the other room and butters on ice. Get over here.
Check. If you're hearing my voice, usually there'd be some intro music playing, but some technical difficulties. I say it's my fault that the intro music won't be playing. But this is another edition, another episode, another chapter of the Introverted Intuition podcast. My name is Jeff.
This is Mike.
And usually we're recording this off my shitty laptop, and usually it's just me and Michael. But today we are in New York City, Manhattan to be specific, at the Gotham Podcast Studio. We told you something special was coming, and we didn't lie, and we kept our promise, so we're here.
Hell yeah, I'm pretty sure the quality sounds a lot better too.
Nah, the quality is good off my laptop. Don't
No,
fucking play my
I
shit.
ain't dissing your laptop. I'm just saying that like it sounds official and professional now.
Thank you. Okay, I put in a lot of work. And we got a special guest with us today, a third member of the crew, as some might say. You want to introduce yourself? Want me to introduce you? I don't know what you go by nowadays.
I can
know you got
introduce
multiple
myself.
names.
So yeah, man, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Conscious Rap, aka CR, straight from the 908. You know, shout out to Jump Out the Frame Entertainment, JOTF Records, CSMG. Was good.
Okay. Conscious Rap. I didn't know you still go by that. I thought it was short for like CR. You just go by now.
Well, I go by both. Everybody who really knows me and comfortable with me, they call me CR. But as I started establishing myself, a lot of people started calling me Conscious for short.
Word.
You know what I mean? Because I do a lot of public speaking in my community too. So
okay.
it's like, you know, some people call me Conscious, some people call me CR, some people just call me C. Like,
Word.
You know what I'm saying?
I might call you by each name as the podcast goes on, whatever I feel comfortable with.
Yeah, whatever comes out is cool with me.
So the backstory of how we even got you on is let's go back to the further back. How we even met. We all three of us coincidentally used to work at the same company. I don't know.
You
if
used to work there?
Yeah.
I still actually work there. I work in the Bank of America area though now.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
Should we give the company a shout out? Do they deserve it?
Nah, fuck it. Just keep going.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. They don't even deserve it. So we all met. We met specifically in the warehouse department, the bottom of the bottom, making what was that? $12 an hour, 13 maybe. And I don't even know how we really started vibing, but we just.
You know what I think it was? All right, so somebody had me doing like an inventory project, and that sounds fancy, but I wasn't doing shit for real.
Word.
Right.
Been there,
So
done that.
yeah,
The
so I think you were picking stuff off the aisles or whatever, and while I was counting inventory, I saw you. We started talking or whatever. I forgot.
Probably just the hate of the company we
Yeah,
had.
I think that's how we built rapport. It
mutual
was
hate.
just like, yo, we hate this job, bruh. We hate it here.
Yeah.
It's mad dusty.
But then we just started clicking to just about everything else, music.
Yeah, we
pop
talked about
culture.
a lot of stuff.
And then that's when I feel like the conversation between us was really when you got the idea for Jump Out the Frame, right?
That's the crazy thing. Yeah, when we met, my record label was not in existence. Like, I was still making music and recording,
Yeah.
but I was kind of in that transition at that time where I was still trying to, like, find what was my next move. Because when you met me, like, that was the last job I ever had.
Whoa, okay.
That was after that, I was like, yo, I'm not working for another company. I'm going to do everything myself.
Yeah.
And ever since then, I've been self-employed. And, like, you know, I live on my own. I got a car, apartment, everything. And I've never went back to, like, a regular 9-to-5 ever since then.
Damn.
But that was literally, like, the moment when I decided, like, I'm going to dedicate my life to my music. Like, I don't care what happens.
Yeah,
I'm just going to do this because, like, one of the major things I remember we used to talk about was like, yo, this shit sucks, bro. Like, working a job that you don't even care about.
Yeah.
Now, there's no disrespect to people who got 9-to-5s. If you have a job that you actually care about, but if you're going to work every day ready to freaking shoot yourself in the head, you need to, you know, reconsider what you're doing.
Yeah.
Right.
Because you're wasting your time. And that's how I felt. So at that point, I was just like, I don't know what else makes me feel the way music makes me feel.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to dedicate my entire life to it. I registered my business. And then that same year, that's when I started going to NJCU.
You know what it is? Like, I feel like the main fear that people have is just that risk, and like jumping off the cliff and like putting yourself at risk and like losing money and like losing even other opportunities, like to do what you really want.
I agree with
And you
that.
took that risk. You made that leap and you landed. It seemed like, right?
Yeah, man, I had to, and I'm still establishing myself because, you know, it's a never-ending journey to, in my opinion, I feel that, you know, success is a journey, not a destination.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I'm always going to be trying to be better. You know, the best thing about life is that nothing's perfect. So that means you could always improve on stuff. You could always make it better.
For sure.
I can tell you right now, I'm a lot farther now than I was in 2015. That was in 2015.
Dang.
That was like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
I was just about
That
to
was
say,
like
how
3
long
years
was
ago.
Damn.
That was
Like at
2015.
the end 2015, early 2016, yeah.
Like after that job, like you didn't even know this, but like after that job, I came home one day and I was still living with my parents at the time, and my parents got kicked out. We got evicted. We couldn't keep up with the rent, and I didn't even know. You know how I found out? I came home one day and I seen the landlord putting a for rent sign on the lawn. That's how I found out. So I was forced to hustle and figure a way to get my own apartment. And on top of that, this was 2 weeks before the semester was about to start. I had graduated earlier that year from UCC with my associates, and I got accepted to New Jersey City University.
Word.
You know, shout out to NJCU. And it was like, yo, everything happening all at one time. And, you know, if it wasn't for the support system and the people who believed in me, it would have been a lot harder to, like, transition. But I think it was also, like, you know, a blessing in disguise, because after that happened, I was able to have my own space. You know, living on your own, especially as an artist, it allows you to really be in your creative space.
With no interruptions.
And it was like, that's when I birthed the idea of Jump Out the Frame. When I was literally, you know, high as hell in my apartment, I came up with the idea. And the funny thing is, I like photography and videography. In the beginning, Jump Out the Frame wasn't going to be a like music record label type of thing. I just wanted to do something and be self-employed.
Yeah.
So I was going to do photography and videography. Thus came the name Jump Out the Frame.
Yeah.
Right?
I remember the day we came up with the name. I feel like we were bouncing around names back and forth.
We were bouncing.
And then you came up with that specifically. You stuck with that. I put my extra stamp on it. So, damn, 3 years ago though?
3 years ago.
So, like, from 3 years ago till now, like, your overall progression has been mostly positive. Of course, you have ups, downs, of course, but if you could compare the amount of positives and the amount of negatives, is there like a steep distance between the two?
I think there's a totally steep distance. Like, I had so much positive things, like the amount of support that I got, especially when I curated my first event. I had it in my hometown in Roselle. I have a relationship with this company called Focus Inc., and it's a tattoo shop. And they have this great space in the back. It's like a patio, and, like, you know, it's just a great vibe. And the dude there, the main dude, his name is Sinjay, and he's a dope artist, like a visual artist. He can paint, he can draw. So he's also a tattoo artist, apparently, and he started his own business. So I knew them for years, like since I was like in first grade. So I had my first like release party there. And when I say it was packed, it was packed. And it was my first time ever putting together my own event. Like, I performed at showcases in New York.
Yeah.
I've been to places in Jersey and performed, but I never put it together myself. And the amount of people who came out, it was like, yo, it showed me that this is where I need to be at. And I need to find ways to make this grow. You know, that was the first thing that made me feel like, all right, I'm willing to dedicate myself to this, because people are listening, people are watching, people are actually following me. And it's crazy because, you know, when I talk about, I'm very open about my life, my personal life, and things that I go through. And it's crazy how that truly inspires certain people to get back into school. And I'm an advocate for mental health because my parents both suffer from depression. You know, and I've been diagnosed with manic depression, and I'm bipolar. So it's like, to me, I have a personal connection with those things, and I'm very open about it because there's a stigma behind those things. You know what I'm saying? Especially being a black male. You know what I'm saying? There's not a lot of other males in our community that are willing to speak on these issues, even though everybody's dealing with it.
But there's a lot of people in our community who will look down on people with those issues and try to dismiss it. Even like our parents, like, they may do it like unwillingly, and they may not take it that seriously. But it's a real thing. And it's funny you bringing that up, because I saw, as I did my research, you know, coming into this, that you do like you mentioned, you speak to a lot of people. You did like events where you're like explaining your story about that, and like about how you deal with depression and anxiety, and all that. So, like, was the music the only thing that really get you through it, or was it like the benefits you're seeing that your music's getting you, like the people listening and stuff like that? Like, is it the actual act of making the music, or seeing people receive it that got you through?
I would say
it was.
I would say it started off with just the aspect of creating the music. That was an outlet for me, because, you know, to this day, my whole thing is like, I don't care if nobody listens to my music, I'm gonna listen to it. You know, I make music that I care about and that, you know, speaks about things that I care about. So, like, for me, it was also therapeutic too, because it was an escape from the things that I was dealing with. You know, like I can't explain that flow and that feeling when you're in the booth and you're in your zone, you're in the studio, you and your boys, everybody's just lit and you're having fun. Yo, nothing matters. I feel like I'm Jay-Z when I'm in the studio. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you have to create that magic on your own before it actually becomes reality. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it's like when I was creating the music, that was enough right there. The fact that I have the ability to rap and make really dope music, like it's really good music. But to add the cherry on top, to see how it affected people and to see how people were responding to my music, that's what made me reach another level of transcendency. That made me feel like, you know, this is bigger than just me using this as an outlet. This is a legacy. You know, after I'm gone, my music's still gonna be here. I want people to listen to it and be like, yo, he didn't care what nobody thought. He made music that he liked. He expressed himself. And I want that to be something that people can relate to. I want to make music that people can feel like, you know, I'm almost a voice for them in a way. You know what I'm saying?
Like a hero type, or not a hero, but just, I don't know, just like
a motivational speaker, like you said.
Mentor in a sense, or
I guess you could put whatever label it fits in that person's perspective.
Okay.
You know, because at the end of the day, I'm just CR. You know what I'm saying? I'm conscious rap. That's who I am. You know, whatever label people put me under, you know, like Eminem said, I am whatever you say I am. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I'm just making music that speaks to me, you know? And I'm not going to say that every track I make is super deep and thoughtful. Like, there's going to be some tracks that are party tracks because that's part of my personality. Like, I'm a super fun person. Like, I'm goofy. I'm going to make funny tracks. Like, I do accents and, like, impersonations and all types of shit on my music. Like, I don't care. Like I said, it's my playground.
That's what I was going to ask, because having your name Conscious Rap, the person from the outside looking in are going to assume that's all you do. And did you think about that before you even made the name?
I didn't think about that, honestly. You want to know the funny thing about the origin of CR?
Let's hear it.
All right, I was 16 and I used to work at Kmart, right?
Everyone had that job, or some type of retail job at age 16. Go ahead.
I was working at Kmart with these two dudes, Jihad and Eric, right? These guys were older than me. They were super cool. So we used to freestyle every day at work. Like, you know, they worked in the home appliance. I was in the men's section folding, but I'd come over there and, you know, bullshit. Yeah. So the thing was, though, right, it was a super boring fucking job. So I would come to work super high, right? So, like, they started calling me Cookin' Rodley. Right? So I was just like, all right, whatever. And then they started calling me CR for short. But that's when, like, I was 16. That's when I just started, you know, recording and trying to take music seriously. And then I sat down, like, damn, man, I can't go around telling people my shit's Cookin' Rodley. So I started thinking, like, what else can I do with CR? I like those two letters together. And then I thought of, maybe I should name myself Conscious Rap, because I am a conscious person. I'm very aware of certain things, and, like, you know, I'm into a lot of you know, metaphysical knowledge. I'm into, like, conspiracies, into all that shit.
We can get into that too.
Yeah, we can get into that. You know what I'm saying? Like, into the law of attraction, all of that stuff.
Yo, the law of attraction is what got this platform made,
and I believe you.
Like, literally, I feel like I throughout my life I've always been like a natural introverted and quiet person, but I've always had this deep sense of, like, I feel like sense of duty where I feel like I have to spread my experiences and my knowledge and my wisdom, quote unquote, to others. But I never was confident enough to use my voice. And how we even discover podcasts is just like a different story, just a random thing. But I needed to do this. I feel, you know, like, do you feel like rapping is what you need to do?
Yes. So, I completely agree with everything you're saying. Like, and what you're listening to is kind of an intuitive feeling of purpose. You know what I'm saying? And, like, I'm an existentialist, right? I believe that, you know, that you create your own purpose. You know, we give things meaning. You know what I'm saying? So if you speak things into the universe, it becomes your reality. Like, your reality is different than my reality. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But the fact that that's how you feel makes it real.
Being in the studio, just physically right here. This is our first recording at the studio, by the way. I feel like I mentioned that in the beginning, but I would constantly psychopathically repeat it to myself out loud and in my head that we will be in a professional type studio and we will like spread our message and just become as big as possible. And I feel like we're on that right path.
And you asked me earlier too, like like on our way here, like right before we left my house, like, did you really think we would really be in a recording studio, like recording and shit like that? I'm all like, eventually, yeah, because you always said that. Hell yeah. So like when you put things in the universe, it comes right back to you.
I agree.
Always, no matter what.
I agree.
Damn. What was your Cooking Rodley?
Cooking Rodley.
Can I just call you that?
Yo.
CR in parentheses, Cooking Rodley. That's your first album title right there.
Yo, that shit was so funny when they came up with that shit. I was laughing for like 10 minutes straight because I was hot.
Yeah, but one question I do got for you.
Yeah.
Though, like I saw a picture of you.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really random and shit because like we met actually a few times. Like I don't know if you remember at all.
What?
Like, it was for like a quick second and shit like that. We never really spoke.
I can say
like
where we can we say like I used to cop weed off you.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I don't know who's listening.
That's
Who you
cool.
got listening? But yeah, we used to cop bud off you. He was like always in my car,
Mm-hmm.
and that's how y'all met.
Oh.
Yeah, well, we just exchange and just say what's up, but we never.
Yeah, it was never like a
officially
real.
Like this is
the
literally
first-
the longest conversation.
And I
we
sat
ever
in the
had.
back, right? And then.
Nah, you would just come up to the window. And
Oh,
just
you
say
go to
what's
the
up.
window?
something like that.
No, but anyway, like
Okay.
I saw this one picture of you with Angela Yee.
Oh yeah.
How the hell did that happen? you
Oh
know?
man, she's super cool. So like I said, I went to NJCU,
Yeah.
right? And there was this thing called a Loft Conference that Jeff DeSorcy put together. He was somebody who worked in the campus life department, and he always puts together this like super dope conference at NJCU where it's like a leadership conference, and he'll get like cool guest speakers to come through. Like, you know, it was super lit. So that first time I went there was in 2016, and Angela Yee was one of the guest speakers, right? And of course, you know, I don't know how much you guys listen to the Breakfast Club, but she always has the Ask Yee segment on Wednesdays and Thursdays, right? So she was there, whatever, and she's like, you guys have any questions or anything, you could ask me, right? So, of course, I'm a very, like, extroverted person, so I didn't care. I was like, hey. So I started this company, right, called Jump Out the Frame, blah, blah, blah. And I was just talking about that, and I was telling her, you know, what my vision was, because at that time I was transitioning. Like I said, I started off trying to do photography and videography, but of course, music was my true passion, and the only reason I wanted to do photography and videography was so I could have money to fund my music, right? So then I was telling her, you know, I'm thinking about just turning it into a record label and being an entertainment company and just taking it that way. And then she was just basically really encouraging, and then she was just like, you better do it. You know, she said that to me right before we took the picture, because I was, you know, of course I got flex. I was like, can we take a pic?
Yeah.
You know
I think
what
she
I'm
used to manage people, or she maybe still does managing artists. So maybe that was why she was more locked in on your idea of it, because she has been in the music industry for a long time. I used to love this woman, by the way.
I'm about to say, how do you know so much?
Bro, that used to be my boo. Like,
Oh, word.
when I saw that picture, I was a little tight. I ain't gonna lie. I was like, yo, how did this guy meet her before me, yo?
That's funny.
But then she got a boyfriend. I was like, nah, I'm off you. So Jump Out the Frame is a record label exclusively now.
Yes.
Is just you, or do you have other friends that?
Oh yeah, my business partner is Kyrie Leverett, aka K-Rock the Illest.
Okay.
He's an executive, and he's also an artist. He actually has a EP coming out this month called Underdog. So shout out to K-Rock.
Oh, have you have your own body of work, like complete?
Oh yeah,
out
yeah.
there?
Right now I have an album out. It's called Audio Art, and that's available on all major music streams: Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music. And you know, if you guys, you know, follow me on my company website, which is www.jumpouttheframe.com.
Professional.
Yeah, we post up all our stuff on there: our music videos, our new releases, everything. I'm gonna put this interview up there too once I put it on our YouTube channel, and it's under new releases. So everything's really well organized.
I tried rapping in high school, and it was like the worst shit ever. And it was like the hardest thing to make even 16 bars. So I can't imagine how it goes to make a full song. Like, what's your recording process even like?
All right, so for me, I need the beat first, right?
Okay.
Some people can write lyrics and write music without a beat, and then they'll get the beat, and then they'll put, you know, their lyrics to the beat. I can't do that. You know, shout out to people who can. That to me is super hard, because I'll listen to a beat, and to me the beat kind of, it might sound weird, right? But it kind of tells me what to say. Right? Because every beat, like, you know, with the different sounds, they carry energy. You know what I'm saying? So that energy, like, I kind of just try to be receptive to it. Like, I'll listen to a beat over and over and over, just the instrumental, and then out of nowhere, a melody will come. Like, then it'll be like, it'll start off with literally just one catchy ass phrase, and then I turn that into like the hook. And then, you know, as far as like the actual bars and the lyrics, like I started rapping from freestyling. So that always was easy for me to generate lyrics, and I'm a fast thinker, so it's not really hard for me to just come up with words and then throw a rhyme scheme at the end of them. And you know, just like it's a language, you know what I'm saying? Just like you don't have to really think that hard to speak to people.
Yeah.
That's how it is when it comes for me for rapping. Like when it comes to rapping, it's almost like a language.
Did you? Because like with this, I know when we first started, we used to always say we hate how we sound behind the microphone, and it's definitely different for rappers and podcasters. Are you comfortable with how you sound, or did it take? Are you still getting there?
All right, now I'm super comfortable with how I sound. But when I first started, and the funny thing is, if you listen to like a lot of my old stuff, you could tell like at what point I started finding my voice, because I still sound the same as I did when I was like 17, which is weird, right?
Yeah.
Super weird.
How old are you now?
I'm 25, turning 26.
Okay, that's even later, yeah.
Yeah, I sounded like I've played my own music from when I recorded when I was 17, and I listen to this now. As far as the sound, like what I'm talking about is different, but my voice literally sounded the same. But one of the things I had to master when I first started recording was projecting my voice.
Yeah,
I was on some like mumble, like not even mumble rap, not even close to that, but kind of like you know how like 50 Cent had his style because he got shot in the mouth. He was like, yeah, it's 50 Cent. Barely opened his mouth.
I was gonna say, like, don't you gotta like change your voice up and stuff like that? You gotta put more like a hype thing on it, like
Put some sauce on it.
Exactly. So like starting off, I didn't open my mouth enough. Literally didn't open my mouth enough to project my voice. But then I started, like I said, just kept practicing. And the crazy thing that people don't realize that, you know, rapping and, you know, rather if you're rapping or singing, recording is totally different.
Yeah.
It's totally different. Like there's some people who can sing, but they can't record a song. And there's some people who can rap, but they can't make a record. You know what I'm saying? Like going into the booth and being a recording artist is truly an art. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're just like when you're doing a podcast, you have to project your voice. You have to have enthusiasm. You have to have energy. So it's like you have to remember all these things in your delivery, because it's all about the delivery when you're recording in the studio.
And then that, like, people are receptive to that. So like when they can tell like you're kind of like a little nervous or not really focused or anything. So like,
and the major thing is people can tell when you don't believe what you're saying.
Yeah.
If you're rapping and you're talking about stuff that's not real to you, people will be able to tell.
Word.
That's why it's so important to live your truth.
Yo, but so many people don't though. People front for social media daily, and it's sickening. The ones that we even look up to, like fucking the Kardashians. Well, I don't look into them, but we don't.
I get what you're saying.
I hope y'all don't. But just them, their perception is that they're like these amazing individuals with all this money. I mean, they have the money, but nothing they do is real, in my opinion. So
I agree.
I thought you were gonna say Bow Wow or somebody.
Bow Wow might be real, man. He might be living his truth. I don't know.
I mean, he's been caught a few times. I don't know.
That whole shit with him running from the crowd was crazy. Like,
What happened with that?
well, he was saying like, he was like recording a video of himself saying like, oh, I think these fans know I'm here or whatever, blah blah blah, and the people were like running after him, but I think they're running past him. I think they're going to someone else or something like that. Some crazy shit.
I heard about that. Damn.
Yeah, and there was another one where he was like on like a plane or something like that. Like there was like a jet and a bunch of cars behind him, some shit like that. But then someone saw him like sitting in coach like with him and shit like that.
Oh yeah, he was saying he's flying private, but he was in fucking not coach, but like business class or whatever. Commercial class, whatever the fuck, not first class.
And then he did an interview going like, "Man, y'all don't know what's coming. Like this is all like promotion and blah blah blah." He's like, "Y'all don't know what's coming." And the show, I don't know what show he was talking about, but I haven't heard about it since.
This isn't the Bow Wow hate cast. We don't hate on Bow Wow. For like the past 20 episodes, I feel like I'm hating on Bow Wow just for no reason. But Bow Wow, if you're hearing this, like I don't hate you, my nigga. Like you're cool. Another thing I always heard was like the hardest thing about making music and recording is like breath control.
Yes.
How do you control? Like, do you have to learn how to do that, or you just did it more and more?
Yeah, you have to kind of learn how to do it because it's all in your breathing. Like, it's a lot easier for me to do it in the studio when I'm recording as opposed to performing. Because when you're performing, that's also crucial, breath control, and it's easy to run out of breath because you're jumping around. You're trying to have crowd control and get the crowd involved. Yeah. Like. That shit is definitely like a challenge, you know what I'm saying? But it's really in your breathing and also the way you write your lyrics too. Like, you know, obviously if you're writing lyrics that are tightly wound and there's not too much spaces or pauses in between, sections of your verse, then it's gonna be a lot harder to deliver if you're just going straight through like on some Twister shit.
Word, yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like,
I don't know. I still to this day don't know how he does it.
yeah,
Him and Busta.
man, and him and Busta, like that takes mad practice, and that's just their style. Because you know it's funny, as much as they rap fast, you never know, it might be a challenge for them to have to rap slow.
Word, yeah. I never
You
thought
know,
about that.
yeah.
Have Twister really even gone slow? It's
That's
a
what
good
I'm
question.
saying. Maybe it's because it's really easier for him to rap fast.
By the way, he
That's
needs to
his
make a
thing.
comeback because he would kill it in today's climate with these type of beats that are being made nowadays.
Oh yeah,
Twister would kill it.
with all the beat changes, like everything, especially with these trap joints. Like, yeah,
Word.
he would definitely kill it. I agree with that.
Do you have you dabbled in producing as well, or are you just strictly writing? Rapping?
All right. So I did play around with producing. I made like 2 beats before, right? And I found this super easy way to do it. It was GarageBand,
Okay.
but on your iPhone.
It's an app.
It's an app, bruh.
It's an app
It's
for
an
everything.
app. What you about to say, Mike?
Nah, I was gonna be like, I mean, that doesn't really matter because you still did it. Like, did you use the beat at all?
Yeah, well, all right. So this is what I did, right? So I made a beat, and then I have my own producer named Exotic. Shout out to EXO. He's really dope from Elizabeth.
Word.
And so I made like, you know, I put the melody in there. I put the drums in there. And, you know, I made the beat. You know what I'm saying? Because what it is in GarageBand, there's a whole bunch of different loops. And what I would do, instead of just using the whole loop, I would take different loops and sample them and put them together. You get me?
Yeah.
And so that way it would create a beat. And then I sent it to him. And, you know, he's obviously a real producer.
Yeah.
So then he put on
Cleaned it
some,
up.
he put on some hi-hats on there, some 808s. And then it was like, hey, we co-produced this.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
There you go. That's what I'm saying. It counts. and shit.
Exactly. So that one I haven't used yet, but I'm keeping it because I'm still promoting audio art right now. But I plan on releasing an album later on at the end of this year because audio art's been out since October. And in between audio art and my next album, I'm dropping a mixtape called Flows.
Okay.
It stands for Forever Learning, Optimism, Wisdom, and Strength.
Mm.
And it's just like a whole bunch of dope industry beats, and I'm just giving you straight bars, the whole mixtape.
Oh, just like beats you've taken from other artists that are out right now. You're freestyling over them.
Yeah, like
Right.
you know, beats that everybody knows, like, you know, like G-Eazy's track he got with
Oh, No Limit.
yeah, I got No Limit on there, Family Feud.
God's Plan, probably.
Nah, I didn't
yet?
put God's Plan.
Oh.
Yeah. Because, you know, certain beats you can't find the original, the real beats to them.
Yeah.
So, like, the remakes be kind of ass. So
Yo,
it's
40,
like,
send my man CR that beat, man. What are you doing? He'll
That-
kill that shit.
where's Bond?
So we went from how you get your name, your recording process, your project is out now, audio art.
hmm
Obviously, the next step is performing. You've done performances.
Oh yeah. The last performance I had was at the Warehouse in East Orange, and it was hosted by Artist Vibes. And my man DJ Hype Focus, he was the one that organized that whole event. And like Hype has been doing so much work because Hype is actually the brother of Sinjay, where I told you guys I hosted my own original event
Mhm.
at the tattoo shop.
Did you know him back then, or you?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Like I've known that whole family because their brother Malik. I knew Malik since I was in kindergarten. So yeah, so me and Malik were always friends, but Malik doesn't do music or anything. So I ended up chilling with his older brothers, and like they're really entrepreneurial spirited people. So I hang out with them and we connect a lot. So
Word.
like later on, that's how I ended up getting into that.
Do you have like a certain song that you have that the crowd really goes for, like your hit?
All right,
Or
I would definitely say I would say right now, as far as streaming, because I haven't performed this song yet. Actually, I did perform this song. It's called Stranger Things with Kimmy Chen, right? Stranger Things is like super dope, bro. Like I love that song because to me, it represents the essence of my name, conscious rap. And the reason I named it Stranger Things is because of the way the beat sounds, right? Because it was produced by my man, Evans Lamar. We call him YSL. And he's a super dope producer. And like if you were to hear it, you would understand why I called it Stranger Things, because it was just like. And the crazy thing is, he made that beat in one night. And, of course, we were chilling, we were smoking. And, like, you know what I'm saying? And then I heard it, I'm just like, yo. And I had my lyrics, like, my bars came immediately because when a beat is dope, it's literally like a rush. And I can't stop thinking about lyrics. So I write it down. And then I was thinking, damn, I need a hook. Originally, like, I was going to try and sing on the hook, but I was still working on my voice at the time. And it didn't sound how I wanted it to sound. So then I hit up my homegirl, Kim. And Kimmy came, and she just killed it. And right now, like, to this day right now, that's, like, the top song being streamed on iTunes, Apple Music. Like everybody's listening to Stranger Things,
That's
and
dope.
yeah, when we performed that, like people really, really felt it.
Shit, I thought you were gonna say it was based off of the show.
I did think of no lie though. I came up with the name because I watched that show. Stranger Things is fucking dope.
Season 3 coming soon next year.
This
Word,
guy
that
always
shit's
talks
gonna be
about,
lit.
bro.
He hasn't watched it
You
yet.
don't-
Not honestly. All right, I'm already watching a show that I already watched, but that is on my next list because I just got my Netflix back up. But it's all the time and the place for it because like if I'm not doing this and if I'm not home, I'm doing something else and shit like that. I'm gonna make time.
Yeah, I
Give it
get
time.
you. I
Give it
get you.
time.
I get
I gave you enough time, man. Just do it before season 3, man.
you.
Damn. So performing, is that nerve wracking? Like ever?
All right.
Because you say you're extroverted, so you have no problem being in front of people, talking to people.
Yeah.
But a crowd of people is different than like one-on-one.
I'll tell you what makes me nervous. Being unprepared makes me nervous. Right? I've had bad performances in my career. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember like one of the worst performances, it wasn't even for a crowd, but it was an audition. It was for this Hurt John showcase. And John Hurtado, he's really dope. He's from Elizabeth. He curates a lot of dope events.
Okay.
But anyway, I had to audition, right? Super confident. I'm thinking, yeah, I'm about to kill this shit. This shit's easy. So I get super blazed before I got to the spot. And it reminds you, like I smoke, but it's very recreational, and I don't smoke before I go to the studio, and I don't smoke before performances.
I thought about doing that today. I was a little nervous. I ain't gonna lie.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's why, because you want to get rid of the feeling of being nervous. But the crazy thing is, like, I had low energy, right, because I was so cooking.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, my breath control was horrible.
Of course, yeah.
Horrible. So after that, I was just like, no, I need to prepare. I need to rehearse. I need to memorize. Because that's another thing, right? Like, with so many songs and so many lyrics, you have to practice and you have to really work on your memorization because you're on stage and you forgetting your lyrics. They don't know you yet.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you don't know the lyrics, who does?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
I was gonna say you can always put an old trick and be like, all right, man, y'all know the words, sing along
Yeah,
with me. Like,
lit,
but
no.
that'd be
Let the
embarrassing
beat
as
right
hell.
out.
Yeah, people are like, nah, nigga, we don't know you
Yeah,
yet. Like,
that'd be some embarrassing shit.
exactly. So, for me, once I practice, because I practice, like, that's it. I just practice, I memorize, and I would say I learned how to take that feeling of being nervous and turned it into excitement.
Yeah.
Instead of looking at it like, damn, I'm about to go out here, it's like, damn, I'm about to go out here, I'm about to fuck it up.
Word.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I just turned it into, like, something I can enjoy instead of looking at it as like a task. It's just really having fun. And to be totally honest, like my last performance, in my opinion, was like the best performance of my career. And the reason I say that is because I was with my partner K-Rock, and K-Rock the Illest was with me, and we performed his song first because we had a 2-song set. It was his song and then my song. He did his song called Work, and it's like a dance twerk song, like hype. And I was his hype man. We're each other's hype man. So I was just being silly, and I was just having fun. And that was the purest, like, most fun performance I've had in such a long time. And the crowd loved it. It was lit. Like, it was so lit that the host of the show invited me to get on her podcast, and I'm actually going to be with her on the 21st.
Word.
Yeah,
Okay.
because she felt my energy. And then when it was time for me to do my song, it was a song called Day Ones, and that's going to be a song on my next album, and the album's going to be called Love, Peace, and Beats. But anyway, I performed that record, and like, because it's a record where the hook, I'm speaking a little Creole. For people who don't know, I'm Haitian. So I was speaking a little Creole, and so, all the Haitians in the crowd were wilding, man. They was feeling it.
Wait, so how's this album gonna sound sonically, do you think? Is it gonna be
The next one?
Yeah, your next album. This is your debut, you said, right?
No, the
Your
Audio Art.
mixtape, and then your album's coming.
Yeah, well, all right, so Audio Art's my first album.
Right. Oh, okay.
That's out already.
Oh, okay.
Mixtape for the summer, just for people to vibe to. And then Love, Peace, and Beats, my second album, will be towards the end of the year. Right? Now, the way that's going to sound sonically, EXO is producing that whole album, right? And he is a beast at, like, taking old school and new school and putting it together into a crazy mix. And he's also a beast with, like, sampling. And, like, this next album, I'm definitely going to be singing a lot more because I've been working on my voice. Do
you have a history of singing, like, at all?
I would say yes and no. Like, I have records where I'm singing on there, where I'm vocalizing, but I've never, like, came out with an R&B song or anything like that, but I'm working on my voice because all right, crazy thing is I'm more like I love rap. Rap's my first love, but I'm more passionate when it comes to singing, bro.
Thank you.
I'm not even gonna lie.
Yo, me too, bro.
It's the truth.
Bro, I say all the time my voice is hella deep, but when certain songs come on, I do not care, bro.
You get your Barry White on.
Bro, everything, bro. Yo, in the car ride home earlier, yesterday actually, I was bumping Janet. I Want You Back.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking people in the cars next to me staring at me like I'm fucking crazy, but that's my shit. R&B and jazz are my shit.
Oh, I love jazz. My dad put me on smooth jazz. I don't know. Did you used to listen to a station when you were younger? 101.9?
Hell yeah.
You never listened to 101.9?
But I always had like vinyls and stuff in my house growing up, so my mom would just have it on all day.
Okay. But yeah, man. So the next album, like on my hooks, I'm gonna be singing a lot more. Still rapping on my verses, but yeah, man, I've been working on my voice because like a lot of people, you know, when you're a rapper and you're trying to sing, people automatically, oh, you can't sing, and a lot of times it's just confidence. You know what I'm saying? It's confidence because I know I have a good voice, but a lack of confidence will make me sound trash. So I had to work. And once I get in the studio, I haven't started recording it yet because I need to finish recording flows.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, recording, like I said, creating the music is the most fun part. When I start recording Love, Peace, and Beats, I'm going to be like in a whole nother mindset, like a whole nother zone.
Straight focus.
No
really free time, just strictly music.
Yeah, strictly music. Because like when I start recording that, I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to be focusing so hard on my delivery and how I sound, because that I think is going to be like my best project sonically and lyrically, because now I'm going to be talking more about like, you know, more personal things too, you know what I'm saying, and also touching more on, you know, things that a female audience can would kind of be receptive to, because Audio Art was more of a masculine type of project, and it was kind of like, you know, it had some trap beats, some hip hop beats, and like turn up shit. So it was like, you know, for my niggas, you know what I'm saying. Yeah. But Love, Peace, and Beats is gonna be more or less for the ladies, because now I'm gonna be focusing on building my female fan base.
That's dope. I have a feeling it's gonna really work because you already have the vision. It's just about executing at this point.
Exactly.
Damn. This is crazy to me because like, just thinking back to like when we worked together in that warehouse, and
it's
then
totally different.
We both had no type of. We had a vision, but we didn't have it. It wasn't clear enough. And just to hear you say about this, like, I'm honored. You know, I'm honored to know you because it's like I don't know too many people besides me and him. And now you, like, knowing more about you is who really have, like, an idea of what they love and what they want to do with their lives.
I appreciate
and it's just dope.
That.
It's inspiring, honestly.
I appreciate that.
Your producer name EXO, you said?
Yeah, Exotic. We call him EXO for short.
Is he, like, your 40, your main guy?
That's my 40, bro.
Okay.
Like, that's that dude,
like
bro.
Drake and 40?
Yeah, because, like, 40 is Drake's producer. And, like, yo, EXO... When I first heard his beats, because I didn't know him in person, like, I started, like, I think he reached out to me on SoundCloud.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, like, you'll never believe, like, how many people, like, send me beats, and, like, artists hit me up on SoundCloud, on Instagram, like, trying to work with me or whatever. So, you know, you can't really listen to everybody's stuff all the time because it's literally you just don't have enough time.
Yeah.
But for some reason, I listened to to one of the beats that he recorded, that he had made, and it had this sample, I don't remember where it came from, but regardless, that beat was fucking fire, bruh. I heard that shit, and I was just like, yo, where are you from? Like, I hit him up, I'm like, yo, where are you from? He said, from Elizabeth? I was like, oh, bet, we about to link up.
Word.
So ever since then, we linked up. The crazy thing, he's like super young. I think he just turned 21.
Sheesh.
Yo, but he got full beard though. He looks grown. He's Spanish.
Okay.
Yeah, but like, yo, EXO is dope as hell, bro. And it's crazy because, like, you know, before Exotic, I was working with Evans Lamar, aka YSL, and with Y, he is more of the R&B chill type of producer, and I love his beats too. But it's like with EXO, it's like turn up, trap, hip hop. It's like, you know, so many different dynamics, and it was just like, I just like had to bring him on. So I was like, yo, you're producing my next album, bro.
They
Damn.
should collaborate, kind of.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, do like
Yeah,
a class
that's
like
fire
beat tape
shit.
or something like that.
Trust
We
me.
need more of those actually, like just strictly instrumental type beats.
I agree.
Albums.
I agree.
Like going back. I'm not sure if you're familiar with like Nujabes.
What's that?
He's like producer. He passed away. He did like more of like a hip hop, like Japanese style, like type of beat.
Oh,
did a lot
wow.
of different beats for like animes and stuff like that.
Mm.
And like that style of music, I just really appreciate and love.
Sounds interesting.
I want to get to a debate that we have constantly
Mhm.
on this podcast, or that we had up to this point. Who is the best rapper alive
All right.
right now?
Right now.
We're not talking about like in general.
Well,
Now-
technically, he's gonna say himself, which you should have.
Yeah, no.
you definitely should have that confidence. So if you say
X
yourself,
out,
Besides me.
Besides you.
Besides
Rise.
me.
Cook and Rise out.
All right. So all right. It also all right. It depends on your rule of thumb, right? Now, are you basing it on lyrics? Are you basing it on style?
let's go with
Maybe
lyrics.
sheer influence, like
Sheer influence?
just like who's really inconsistency.
All right,
No,
man.
actually, I'll say this too. Don't include Tupac, Jay, Biggie, Nas, or Eminem.
No,
Okay.
okay.
That's always the go-to.
You're right
That's
though.
Always the
I appreciate him saying that because that's true though. Those
And
are
Jay
the
is the
usual-
best. Just for,
Jay is
just
the
put it out
best.
there,
Not
Jay
the
is
best.
my biggest influence. I'll
Thank-
tell you that. That's
Okay.
he yeah. I got a whole funny story
Please
about
throw
that.
it.
But all right, man. A lot of people gonna judge me when I say this, bro.
The best is
Drake. And let me explain why. Let me explain why.
Mhm.
All right.
yes.
You have to look at his consistency, bro.
Yeah.
From 2008, it's 10 years later, and he's still breaking records. He's still number one.
Every project.
Every project, he could rap, he could sing, he could give you Caribbean flavors. You know what I'm saying? He could, you know what I'm saying? He could hop on a little trap. Like, bro, like he's so versatile
Mhm.
and he's so fluid. How can you not like him? Then on top of that, I feel like his voice is really appealing. And one thing that I will say, as the years progressed, yes, his lyrics have become a bit more simplistic and a little bit more shallow, if you will,
Yeah.
because he talks about girls and money. And you know what?
That's all he knows. So
That's all he knows, bro. I'm not gonna say that's all he knows. 'Cause I don't know what he knows.
Well, yeah,
But that's what he puts out because that's his life.
Yeah.
Like, bro, he's been getting like when he was 16, he was making 50 racks a year off of the TV show he was on. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like from the gate, like he's been on the scene. You know what I'm saying? He's what a lot of people probably call a backpack rapper. You know what I'm saying? Because he already has some connections and he was already like in the entertainment industry. So like for me, he's a genius because he knows how to keep himself relevant. He knows how to make hits on the radio.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The only thing I can say is I don't think he has any Grammys, right?
Yeah,
I have
I don't
no
know
idea.
about Grammys, but I know he has a bunch of like other awards.
Yeah, he has a whole bunch of other awards.
No, he has a Grammy for Take Care, I think.
and that was his best album.
Still to this date, I
that he did get a Grammy for that.
Take Care. Yeah.
Yeah, to me, that was like the best because it was a perfect blend between a commercial sound and real lyricism. He was talking about real shit, like Underground Kings.
Yeah.
Like that song was so real, and it like me. The thing that I love about Drake is like how he can create a nostalgia with his music.
Yeah.
And when
yeah.
he raps, you can feel the memories that he was talking about in his lyrics.
Man, that song "Look What You Made Me Done," or
Yo.
"Look What You Made Me," whatever, like that shit. I felt that,
I
especially when
felt
his
that.
mom's talking at the end.
Yeah, when his grandma got
Or-
on the phone.
Or Grandma, yeah. I like Drake mostly for his influence because he's really Tory Lanez would not be here if there was no Drake.
I agree. A lot of artists
Bryson
wouldn't be
Tiller.
here. A lot of artists wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Drake.
I don't think he's the best, but I'll let you say who you think or who you like.
Who would I like?
I feel like you
rapper-
took out
a-
everyone you would name already. So
Of course, I like Tyler. Of course,
Tyler the Creator.
Okay.
Him. I'm excited for that new Nas album that's coming out.
Me too. And it's
Yeah,
produced by
and,
Kanye.
Yeah, and Kanye too. I'm not gonna lie, I love Kanye.
Kanye's one of my.
I mean, he's wilding right now, but like,
yeah.
He's a genius, though.
thank you.
He
Yo,
is.
my
I'm
dude.
sorry. He
My
is,
dude,
bro.
my
He
dude.
is, bro.
Everyone,
Yeah,
everyone
but
looks at
it's
me like,
like-
I'm fucking crazy.
Nah,
Every time
bro.
I say, "Yo, Kanye's a genius," I'm
He's
like,
a
"Yo,
genius, bro.
listen to the thing."
Listen to him, bro.
Yo.
It makes sense. Everything, a lot of things he says make sense to me. I just wish he would like clarify and even apologize, for, especially the certain statements he made recently about slavery and all that.
That was OD.
yeah.
I saw that interview with TMZ. like that was OD when he said that it was a choice. Although I don't agree with exactly how that sounded. Like I can understand what he was trying to say.
What do you think he was trying to say? Because I know I'll say what I think first. I think like Django, right? He was a slave, and he didn't remain that. He chose to go out, even though he's not real. It was just a movie. He was a slave, and he made that choice to be independent. Like, do you think Kanye meant like, even though the act of slavery was already in process, like people were slaves, just them choosing to remain that way was the problem, or
I think
was a choice?
I think in that essence, that's what he was trying to get at, and also the fact that people didn't choose. Now I'm not gonna say people because there were people who chose to revolt and rebel, but not everybody was like that. You know what I'm saying? Not everybody had that strength, right? And in that essence, not making a choice is still making a choice. You get me? So if you're choosing not to fight, that's the same thing as choosing to surrender.
It's relevant today. If you don't even speak about it, as simple as like a platform like this, and discuss these issues and try to come up with solutions, then you're part of the problem.
Exactly. So in that essence, that's what I think he was trying to say. I don't think, if you're, reading it off the surface, some people probably thought he meant like, oh yeah, people just say, yeah, yes, master, I want to be a slave.
Yeah.
Like, no, like that's not what he was trying to say. What he's trying to say is that 400 years of slavery is a long time. 400 years, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, at what point were enough people were saying, yo, let's fight against them? We outnumbered the masters.
Yeah.
And that's a fact you cannot ignore. There was more of us than them, but slavery was a psychological influence.
Yeah, and it was more than just the physical torture.
It was more than
physical. A lot of people forget that. And I feel like people ignored the message because of the messenger. Because Kanye has a history of saying outlandish shit, so they just dismiss everything he says.
Exactly.
That's the problem.
And I agree. That's the problem. He already has this stigma of running his mouth and saying things that are, like you said, outlandish.
Yeah.
But me, I'm the type of person, like, I'm not going to discredit everything that's coming out of somebody's mouth because regardless, in that man's perspective, what he's saying is logical.
Yeah.
There's a logical reason for what he's saying. Instead of completely dismissing it and just saying he's crazy, why not question it and try to understand where he's coming from? Even if you completely 100% disagree, at least have the audacity and the intelligence to question it and see where it's coming from.
Exactly. And I think a lot of things he was trying to say too, like also like mentally too, like a lot of people still have like the slavery mentality and stuff like that. And it's like, yo, when are we gonna get off this and get on to the next thing? You know what I'm saying? Like,
and it's frustrating because it's something in psychology called the consensus effect, right?
Yeah.
When enough people believe something is true, we automatically rule it as true. So it's like when that whole thing happened with Kanye, there was people who didn't even watch the goddamn interview, and they was like, yeah, Kanye crazy.
Yeah.
Just because everybody else was saying Kanye's crazy, now you want to say Kanye's crazy.
This is a quote from the interview he did with Charlamagne. He said, people will take something that's enlightened, put it into different contexts, and call it crazy. And that's just so true. That's just like, I feel like it's a common theme of his. That's the common title of his career, crazy. And that's the problem. I feel like he's honest. He's like extremely honest. And I feel like people are still relatively sensitive to that. And a lot of people still don't know how to handle it. It's unfortunate. But will y'all like never listen to his music again because of these comments?
And I feel like that's so fake. If you're the type of person to say because of this and this whole situation Kanye's going through that you'll never listen to Kanye's music again, you were never a fan to begin with. That's my opinion. Like, because it's like, yo, I don't know how much people listen to R. Kelly, but he freaking pissed on a girl.
Literally.
Pissed on a girl on camera. And this motherfucker still singing I Believe I Can Fly. You know what I'm saying?
Still fucking doing the 1-2 step and all
Exactly. That. So don't tell me because Kanye had a rant or whatever, all of a sudden you're not a fan. Like, I feel like that's so fake. You were never a fan.
The shit that people choose to glorify and the shit that people choose to dismiss, it's really warped.
Yeah.
Honestly. Like, people will like... Some people who aren't really necessarily Trump supporters, they'll just ride with him because of what he's saying is quote unquote honest. You know what I mean?
Right.
But then Kanye, it's over for him. You know what I mean? It's kind of crazy how they'll crucify and accept certain things.
I agree.
I think it's sad too. Like we're literally watching a man go crazy because, mind you, in that interview, he said he stopped taking his meds, and I feel like that's one of the main reasons why, like, he said what he said too.
Yeah.
Like he needs a translator too for once.
Yeah.
And like I think he gets things built up in his head, but he doesn't know how to like speak.
How to verbalize it.
Yeah, how to verbalize it, anything
Yeah.
like that. So he just says whatever just comes out of his mouth and take it out how it is and shit like that. So
Can we owe any of the blame to the Kardashians? Obviously, we don't know specifically what's going on, but I feel I when I see Kim and Kanye like next to each other, I can't see them having conversations like Kanye having conversations in interviews. Like Kanye and Kim seem like completely different people, and I just feel
I agree. They
with
do.
their lifestyle, with the constant cameras around, that will definitely drive you crazy. Like that just fabricated lifestyle, you know what I mean? So
I don't know. I think they're made for each other, yo.
You think so?
I don't know. Like sometimes when I see them together, like they seem pretty okay for each other. I don't know. I don't know their life. I don't know their lifestyle. So we don't know what they talk about.
I don't know enough about Kim Kardashian's personality to speak
Exactly.
on that. I really don't
I'm
know
just
her.
hating. I'm just hating. I got nothing to blame. I like Kanye. I feel like that's kind of because even in the interview with Charlamagne asked him a question that was kind of leaning towards like, do you blame Kim and that little lifestyle for anything like that? And
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he wanted to say yeah, but you know, I mean, it's your wife. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Pray for Kanye, man.
Word, man. Like, you know, I'm really curious to see what his album's going to sound like. You know what I'm saying? He has that joint coming out on June 1st.
Nigga, I'm hyped for your album. You hyping it
Oh,
up like it's about to be
yeah.
like your Reasonable Doubt. Like,
I'm going to push it hard because, like, a part of the hustle was learning how to reach out to different media outlets and try to get my name out there. Because, like, making the music is the easy part, but marketing and putting it out there for people to listen to, that's the hard part. So
sure.
now I'm getting in the swing of that and, you know, getting great responses, man.
That's good. A lot of people are too prideful to ask for help, too. Like, I was a little hesitant to even ask you to come on this because,
Really?
one, that we haven't spoke since we really worked together. I mean, I caught weed from you after that. But, not like a real conversation. So I felt kind of fake because I didn't want you to take it as like, oh, you kind of on the rise. I'm doing my thing. I don't want like you to look at me as like I'm using you.
Right. I
So it's like
understand.
it's kind of hard for some people to like ask for help. But I definitely appreciate you coming on and like spreading your message and all that. There's a timer going. I'm not sure. Is that the timer we have left?
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh, we're running out of time. This damn time flies when you're having a good
Word.
conversation,
Oh,
man.
Jump out the frame though. Like, what's really is there? You said you used to do like the videography and the photography. Is that gone?
I only use it for me and any artist that's on my label, like me and K-Rock. Right now, the main artist that we're working with. So if he needs a photo shoot, I'll do his photo shoot so he can save money. You know what I'm saying? I want to start doing videos, music videos, just in-house. But as far as offering my services to the public, no, I'm done with that. Because, like, artists are super, because they're super picky. They're super picky. Like, yo, I cannot service artists, bro. Like, I love artists and I can relate. I can create with artists.
Yeah.
But servicing an artist, like, shout out to engineers, because I tried doing the engineer thing, too.
It's tough.
It's hard.
I understand that, yeah, because
It's tedious.
I just recently started getting more into photography and stuff now with my friend Zoe, and
Mhm.
I kind of get what you're saying. That but I was gonna ask you about this like after it was over and shit like that. So
I just think artists were just too damn sensitive, man. Like
and that's
that
the
could be
thing.
too,
Like-
and I'm a sensitive person, so it's like, damn, I'm trying to help you, and you know, it's just like it's too much, man. So I just music is my service to the
so
people.
how do you take feedback on your music? Like, do you look at YouTube comments? Your shit's on YouTube too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So do you like look at the YouTube comments and
Yeah.
the like dislike ratio?
Well, yeah, and honestly, there's a lot of yes men on the internet. Like a lot of people just hype me up. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that my music's not dope, but
Word.
that's not what I want to hear. I know I'm dope, but tell me what you don't like.
mm.
You know, I've like to this day I can honestly say everything I've ever posted on Instagram, I've never got a bad comment. I've never heard anybody say, yo, this shit was whack. I never heard anybody say, or like, you need to work on this. The only people who ever tell me that are people that are really musical friends of mine
Mhm.
in real life.
Word.
And they'll be like, yeah, I think you could tweak this or tweak that. And that's what I need to hear. I don't look at comments and all that because at the end of the day, everybody that's like on my shit is really just, you know, they're promoting me and they're happy for me. And I appreciate that. But I need the real comments. Yeah.
Be honest with your friends, man. We got 15 seconds left. You can throw in like you can promote your shit in 10 seconds.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So follow me on Instagram and Twitter at CR_908 and find my music on www.jumpouttheframe.com.
And we out.
We
Thank
out.
you for listening.
Hello? CR, where the bloody hell are you? You were supposed to be here 15 minutes ago.
I know.
I've got big booty girls in the other room and bottles on ice. Get over here.
I'm out.
Yeah. Swag bag when I pull up. That's when I pull up. Big booty girls with a bag when I pull up. Cash when I pull up. Dab when I pull up. Doing 85 on the dash when I pull up. Swag when I pull up. That's when I pull up. Big booty girls with a bag when I pull up. Cash when I pull up. Dab when I pull up. Doing 85 on the dash when I pull up.